init.py is added how many modules? 6 modules. So init.py is empty and there is admin.py. Admin.py. So it is a module which is used to register. I mean, I said Python, Django provides. And Django provide which panel? Administration panel. Or Django provide one special application called which one? Admin. I said no, in the features, in the Django features, I said Python provide inbuilt app called which one? Admin. Django provide one inbuilt app called which one? Admin. By using that admin, you can manage what? You can manage what? Users. You can manage what? Databases. You can manage users, databases, roles. All this you can do in what? Admin. Getting on. Suppose you want to manage what? Database. Okay, then you can manage database by registering those databases when within what? Admin.py. You can open this here. If you open this, you can see some code here. Register your models here. Register your models. So model is nothing but what here? Tables. Model is nothing but what here? Tables. You are registering tables with what here? Admin. It means once you register your tables with admin, what you can do is you can manage these tables. Means what you can do is you can insert the data, you can update the data, you can delete the data. Okay, from where? Admin. From where you can do all this by using admin app. Getting on not? So this can be used for registering admin.py. So this module, okay, this module is used for registering which one? Models. For registering models. Models are nothing but what here? Tables. Why you are registering tables? To manage the data. You want to insert, you want to update, means you want these models to be used in which application? Admin. You want these tables to be used in which application? Admin. Admin want to use some database. I said no, like suppose you are developing application for a supermarket. Who will add the products? Admin. Okay, then where is adding the products in database? Then in which database you want to add the products? That models you register with what? Admin. So that you can insert the data, update the data and delete the data. Okay. So this module is used for registering models. So that okay, this models can be managed. These models can be managed by which one? Administrator or admin. Are using managed by admin or using admin. Okay, admin what here? Application. Using admin application. That is what we mean by admin.py. Okay, right? So this is first one. Are you getting or not? Yes. So when you create application, your application contain how many modules? 6 modules. Your application contain how many modules? 6 modules will be there. How many modules will be there? 6 modules will be there. Okay. Yes. What is that? First one is init.py. Second one is what? apps.py. Third one is what? models.py. Fourth one is what? admin.py. And fifth one is what? test.py. Sixth one is what? views.py. Okay, right? So total how many modules are there? 6 modules are there. Okay, are you getting or not? Okay, so what is init.py? Is a special module. It is a Python program, but this program is what here? Empty. So this program recognize your folder as what? Package. Means whenever you create a package, okay, so it will create a folder with what name? Package name, right? So in that folder, okay, you need to add one special module. And what is the name of that module is init.py. Okay, right? So second one is what here? Admin.py. Now admin, I said by default, when you create a project, your project comes with some inbuilt applications. Your project is created with inbuilt applications. Your projects here, just open settings.py. If you open settings.py, now you can see there is one application. What is the name of the application? Admin. There is an application called what? Authentication. There is an application called content type. There is an application called sessions. There is an application called messages. There is an application called static files. Are you build all these applications? No. Okay, these applications provided by whom? Python, Django. These applications are provided by whom? Django. You are not built these applications. Now, you want to use which application? Admin. Can you use admin application or not? Yes. So by using this admin application, you can create users, you can manage what? Database, all these things you can do it. Which database you want to manage? That database you register. The database you register in what? Admins.py. The database you register in what? Admins.py. So the next one is apps. You learn, don't worry. Just remember which module is used for what. Okay. So second one is you have an apps.py. So what is the use of this apps.py? Now this is used. This module is used. This module is used for configuring. So configuration of which one? Applications. If you want to configure other applications, you can configure in what here? Apps.py. You learn this. Okay, just try to write the definitions. Which module is for what? But at the end of this, at the end of the course, you'll be knowing it. Which module is used for what? Okay, but right now, try to understand which module is for what. It is not right time to talk about what is each and every module is, right? So we'll see practically. Okay, na? Then next one is you have a models.py. So this is one more program. So see, these programs are you writing any program or you are writing the code in existing program? Are you writing a new program or you are writing a code in existing program? Existing program. So why you are writing in existing programs here? This is existing. All these programs are existing and you write the code inside these programs. Why? Because it's a framework, right? You're saying it is what? Framework. What framework define? Set of rules and regulations. It is a way of organizing the code. How you are organizing the code? Like this. If you write the code somewhere else, is it your framework recognized? No. Suppose I need to register models in admins.py. Instead of registering in admins.py, if I register in some other program, is it that program is recognized by the Django? No. Understood? So all these are pre-written programs. You write the code inside these programs. Okay, Django says that you want to configure admin, you write in what? Admin. Okay, you want to configure apps, then write in what? Apps. You want to build models, then write in what? Models.py. But if I change the name of the program, will it recognize or not recognize? Not recognize. Understood? It is not recognized. It is given some rules and you have to follow that rules in order to develop what? Application. So it is not like other, even though you write other programs, you need to call inside this programs only. So models.py and this module, okay, this module is used for building. So for building So for building which one here? Models. For building models. Models are nothing but, I said, how you communicate with a database. Generally, if you want to communicate with a database, okay, you'll try to use what? SQL. If you want to build, if you want to communicate with a database, you use what? SQL. But when it comes to the Django, you communicate with the database without using what? SQL, by using ORM. That is object relational mapping. So it means you are communicating with the database by using object oriented programming. Object oriented programming. Like suppose in the database table, in database, data is represented in what? Table. So what is a table? Is set of rows, and what is a table? Is set of rows and columns. Then how you represent this table in object oriented as a class? So what is the class is here? EMP. Object relational mapping. See, you are mapping object oriented programming with what? Relational database. Here it is table, but here it is represented as what? Class. And this class is nothing but what here? Model. And what is the object is? Records. What is the object is? Record. Objects are nothing but what? Records. And your table represented as what? Class. Means when you create an object, it will create one row. If you create one object, it will create one row. Means are you communicating by typing SQL commands? No, by using object oriented programming. Then where you represent these classes? Where you represent these classes? You represent these classes in what? Models.py. So this module is used for building models. So when it comes to which one? ORM. ORM is nothing but object oriented relational mapping, or object relational mapping. Okay, right? So then next one is, yeah, is it clear up to this, all of you? Yes, you want to ask anything? You want to ask anything? Is it clear? Online students. So online students, is it clear? Online students. Okay, online students, you are there or not there? No messages, nothing, huh? Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, right? So apps.py, models.py, admins.py, and one more is init.py. So next one is, you have a test.py. So there is a test.py. So now your application required. Yeah. So your application required now test.py. So testing related functions. This module consists of what here? Testing related functions. Means after developing the project, what do? You try to test it. You try to test it by writing some code. So testing related code, you are writing in which module? Test.py. Okay, test.py. And then finally, you have one more module which is called as a views.py. Views.py. Now, this is what exactly is. Okay. So init.py, admin.py, apps.py, models.py, test.py, and views.py. Okay, views.py. Okay. So where you write your application related code, where you write the backend code, where you write the backend code. You enter, see here. Now if you see, now if you see this Facebook or something, right? So facebook.com. Now you enter username and what? Password. And after giving username and password, you click on which one? Login. So after giving username and password, you click on login. Okay. So you click on what here? Login. Give the username and give the password. So once you click on the login, what will happen? What will happen? This input is given to what? Backend. Backend, right? Backend means one program. It is given to one program, right? This input is given to one program. One program written in what? Django. One program written in what? Django. Okay. So that should verify this username and what? Password. Where you are writing the program which takes the input, where you are writing the program which takes what? Input. You are writing that program. You are writing that program in what? Views.py. So what is a views.py is? Views.py is a module which is responsible in taking what? Request. Request is nothing but what? Input. Request is nothing but input and processing it and generating which one? Response. Response is nothing but output. Request is nothing but what here? Input. And response is nothing but what here? Output. So who's the responsible in taking the input and generating the output? Views. Understood or not? It means where you are writing the backend logic in what? Views.py. Okay, so that is request and response request processing logic. Request processing logic you are writing in what? Views.py. So views.py. Understood? Understood or not? Okay, suppose you create a new account. You click on create a new account. You enter all these details, right? And then after that, you click on sign up. When you click on sign up, what will happen? This request is sent or not? Yes, this request is sent to what? Backend. Backend means one program. Where is that program is in? Views.py. Where is that program is in? Views.py. So that program will receive this input and process it and generate what? Output. So where you are writing the logic belongs to a request processing and generating a response in views.py. Understood? Views.py is a module which contains the request processing logic. Request processing logic. That is what? You are developing an application by using one architecture, right? What is that architecture is? MVT. M stands for what? Model. View stands for view. T stands for template. Model, view, template. Model consists of which logic? Persistent logic. View contain which logic? Business logic. Template contain which logic? Presentation logic. So this is having a business logic, means it is having which logic? Request processing logic and communicating with others and generating which one? A response. So who will take the input here? View. Who will generate the output here? View. It means always you will be giving the input to what? View. Understood? So view.py is a module. So view.py is a module which takes input. So views dot now this module, okay, this module consists of, so this module consists of which logic? A request processing logic. It is having a request processing logic. It means this module consists of a logic which takes the input. This module consists of a logic which takes or which receives what here? Input is nothing but request given by whom? Client. Given by client. Process it and generate which one? A response. Generate which one? A response. A response. Okay, response is nothing but what here? Response is nothing but what here? Output. Response is nothing but what here? Output. Okay. So that is written in views.py. Understood? What do you say? Yes or no? Okay. So that is views.py. If you don't understand, tell me. I'll repeat again. Understood? So your application is a collection of how many modules? 6 modules. Okay. So what is the first one is init.py. Second is admin.py. Third is apps.py. Fourth is models.py. Fifth is test.py. Next is views.py. So these are different. Okay. Yes, these are different things. But where you write the logic in views.py. So view is a controller which control the execution. View is called as an entry point. What is a view is called a entry point of your web application. It is an entry point of your web application. Okay, na? Yes. So once you develop an application, now we created project and we created what? Application. We created project and we created what? Application. I said web application development is a combination of front end and back end. Okay, na? It is a combination of front end and back end. It is not only just a back end, right? It is a combination of both front end and back end. So how you develop a front end using HTML and how you develop a back end by using Django. Means as a full stack developer, you need to develop both. Front end you have to develop and you have to develop what? Back end. Means you have to develop, what do you have to develop? Front end. Front end means you have to develop this. This is called as which one? Front end. And at the same time, after giving this username and password, when you click on login, what operation has to be done? That is called which one? Back end. Getting on. So your job is not just writing the backend code. Your job is developing both front end code as well as what? Backend code. Understood? So your project contain front end as well as what? Backend. Your project is divided into a 3 parts, that is model, view and template. So templates are nothing but presentation. View is nothing but business logic. Model is nothing but database. Model represents what? Database. Okay, this is what you have to remember. Okay, na? So if not, it will be a problem, right? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Mukherjee will see where you write the templates and all the things. Don't worry. Okay, na? Yes. Then no, we developed the application. We develop the applications here. We develop the project, and within the project we develop what? Application. And within the application, I want to write some code. I want to write some code. Now, where you write the code? Where you write the code in views.py. I said no, view responsibility is taking input. View's responsibility is what? Taking input and processing it and generating output. Taking the input, processing it and generating what? Output. That is done by what? Views. Understood? Okay. So you need to understand this views.py. So if you open this views.py, see here, views.py, now create your views here. Create your views here. Create your views. Means you are creating a view. A view is represented. Yes. Just now, is it clear right up to this? Okay. So now next is I'm talking about now what is this here? Views. I'm talking about views. Okay. So what is a view? A view is a function. What is a view? A function or a view is a class. It means you can develop a views. You can develop views. How many ways you can develop views? Two ways. One is function based views, and one more is what? Class based views. But what is the responsibility of view? Taking the input and processing it and generating output. You may develop a login view. Login view take the username and password. There is a registration view that will take name, username, password and register it. Okay, there is assume that there is a view called a deposit view. What deposit will take account details and amount and deposit. So what is the responsibility of view? Taking the input given by whom? Taking the input given by whom? End user. Taking the input given from what? Browser. And after taking the input, what it will do? Process it. And after processing, what it will do? Generate the output. So view responsibility is taking the request and processing it and generating output. View responsibility is taking the input, processing the input and generating what? Output. That is done by what? Views. Understood? So you go to bank. Bank is one application. Suppose you go to bank. You go to bank or not? Yes, bank. You go to ICICI Bank. So if you take that bank is one app. That bank is one app. Now you want to deposit. What do you do? It you go to which counter? Deposit counter. Now that deposit counter is what? View. That deposit counter is what? View. So what is the responsibility of that? It takes the input, right? What is the input? Account number, amount. Then it'll deposit or not? Yes. And after deposit, it'll give stamp it and give it or not. That is what? Output. Understood? Okay. Yes. So views are nothing but here. View, the responsibility of view. So view is yours. Okay. View is yours for receiving. Okay. Receiving what here? Input. But you are giving input. You are giving input. See here. View is used for receiving input or request. A request given by whom? Client. But how client is giving a request? How client is giving a request? By using template. Template is nothing but HTML. Means from browser only, right? Is giving a request from whom? Browser. Okay, view is used for receiving input or request given by client. And comma, process input given by client and generate what here? Output. And this output is nothing but what here? Response. This output is nothing but what here? Response. So view is used for receiving input or request given by what? Client. Process input given by client and generate the output or what? Response. Generate the output or response. That is done by what? Views. And views are developed. Okay, views are developed. Views are developed in two ways. Okay, there are two types of views. There are two types of what here? Views. There are two types of views. One is what? Function based views, and one more is what? Class based views. Like when you work with certain things, you develop it by using object oriented without using object oriented. By using object oriented means you go for what? Class based. Without using object oriented means you go for what? Function based. So this is nothing but procedural oriented programming, and this is what here? Object oriented programming. So why you are writing a view? Why you are writing a view? To take the input. View, you are writing a view for taking the input and processing it and generating what? Output. For taking the input and processing it and generating output. So in views.py, you can have any number of views. In views.py, you can have any number of views. Getting on not? So if you take a bank, bank is there. In bank, you have so many people. Yes or no? There is a deposit person. There is what? Withdraw. Now, if you want to deposit, you just go to which person? Deposit. You want to withdraw, you go to which person? Withdraw. It means deposit is one view and withdraw is what? One view. You want to loan, then you go for which one? Loan person. And that is one more view. Means each view is used for performing specific operation. In views.py, will you write one view or multiple views? Multiple views. And each view is used for a specific task. Each view is used for a specific task, right? So views.py contains one or more than what? One view. And each view is used for performing a specific what here? Task. Each view is used to perform a specific task. Okay. So in views.py, you are writing one view or multiple views? Multiple views. But how you build these views? By using what? Functions. You build these views by using class. So there are two types of views. One is function based views. One more is what? Class based views. Correct or not? Okay. One is function based view and one more is a class based view. Then next is, okay, so whenever you are talking about, yes, so whenever you are talking about, yes, understood up to this? So inside the application, see inside the application, now this is your project. Inside the project, what you have? Application. Inside the application, you are writing code in what? Views. But later we'll see what other modules are. But first we are talking about which module? Views module. Getting on it. Okay. So first I'll tell you how to build which views function based view, right? Now this might be interview question. See these questions frequently, right? So what is view? Okay, what is view in Django? What is a view in Django? Now in Django, a view is a Python function or what? Class. Because I say no, it is used. I mean, you can develop a view how many ways? Two ways. One is using function. One more is what? Class. Okay. So what is a view? Is a Python function or class that takes what here? Web request and generate what? Web response. It acts as a bridge between the URL patterns and the application logic. You handle the incoming request and process the data and render the appropriate response to be displayed to what here? Users. Okay. So this one definition you can write. So I just take this definition. Okay. So what is view? So this is, so in Django, a view is a Python function or a class that takes a web request and returns web response. It acts as a bridge between the URL patterns and the application logic. And views handle the incoming. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what is the meaning of this. Don't worry. And views handle the incoming request, process the data, and render the appropriate response to display to the user. That is what is the meaning of view is, right? Then next we'll see how to generate or how to create. So first I'm telling you which view? Function based view. First I'm telling you function based view. How many ways can you develop the views? Two ways. One is function based and one more is class based. Okay. One is a function based and one more is class based. So what is a function based view is, it is a Python, it is a Python function, it is a Python function use, or it is a Python function which takes, okay, again I'm writing it, which takes what here? Input, okay, process it, process it and generate which one? Output. So what is the syntax? What is the syntax of writing this function based view is, how you write a function in Python, how you write a function by using which keyword? Def. How you write a function by using which keyword? Def. DEF. And it followed by what name? Function name. DEF and followed by function name. But here, this function is represent what here? This function represents what here? View. This function name is also called which name? View name. Because every function, I mean, you represent view as a function or class. You represent a view as a function or what? Class. So you are writing definition, and definition it followed by what name? Function name. And this function name also called which name? View name. It is called as a function name or what? View name. And this function or this view receive what here? Input. Okay, this function or this view receive the input, and that input is called what here? Request. So view must have at least one parameter. The view must have at least one parameter. And what is that parameter is? Request. This name can be anything, because parameter name is what? User defined. Parameters are which variables? Local variables. So parameter name is identifier. Variable names are identifiers or keywords. Identifiers. You can give any name. You can give what? Any name. But what is the name I've given here? A request. Okay, view required at least one parameter. And what is that parameter is? Request. And instead this, you include either one statement or more than one statement. You include one statement or more than one statement. Understood? What do you say here? Yes or no? Yes. So it required one parameter. Now view function required one parameter. That is required parameter. One parameter called which one here? A request. Because this function should receive the input or not. Yes. Who's giving the input? Client. So client is giving the input to what here? View. And this input is received as one argument. This input is received as one argument. And where the input is stored in one argument. What is the name of this here? Request. And you read this input and process it and generate what? Output. And view must return. View function must return. Must what here? Return. What should return? What should return? Response. Response is nothing but what? Output. Compulsory should return the output. It takes the input and it generates the output. It takes the input, process it and generate the output. So input is what? Request. Output is what? Response. Who's giving the input? Client. Who's generating the output? View. Who's giving the input? Client. Who's generating the output? View. View is generating the output, and that output is called as which one? Response. Are you getting or not? Okay. So who's generating the output here? View. And client is giving the input to the view, and it will receive that input and process it and generate the output. Understood? Right? Then yes. So how to work with this here? So how to work with this here? Right? So what I'm doing is I'm writing a simple one. Okay. So a simple view. which will display a message, welcome to Django. A view which generates the output. I want to create a view that should generate the output saying welcome to Django, right? So already we develop application or not? Yes. See, I'm not using any IDE. Is it I'm using any IDE? No. Okay, I've not used any IDE. I'm telling you without IDE. Then we'll try to open this project in PyCharm. We'll try to open this project in what? VS Code. No problem. Okay, na? So, but I just open this. See here. Open this in what? Notepad. Open this in what? Notepad. I just open in Notepad. Okay, right? So definition. So I'm writing a view. What is the name of the view is? Okay, I'm just giving a name of the view is. What is the name of this is? Welcome. What is the name of this view is? Welcome. Because this view display which message? Welcome message. So it is having one parameter. What is the name of this parameter? Request. Parameter name is what here? Request. Because it takes the input or not? Yes, it takes the input. So what it will do is it will take what here? Input. It will take the input. So request is nothing but it will take what here? Input. So after taking the input, what next? I said this welcome should generate what? Output. Output is nothing but response. Output is nothing but response. Okay, but whenever you are talking about input and output, in web, always the input and output is done by using which protocol? HTTP. HTTP, right? HTTP. So Django provide one class. Django provide one class. I'm saying from Django dot HTTP import. What is the name of the type here? HTTP response. What is the name of the class? HTTP response. Where is this HTTP response class is there in which module? HTTP module. And where is this HTTP module is available in Django project? I mean package. This is a package. This is a module. This is what? Class. What is the name of the class? HTTP response. What is the name of the class? HTTP response. And always, whenever you are talking about web, how you present the data, how you present the data in web in HTML, how you present the data in HTML, how you present the data in HTML. So I am giving one message. What is the message is? I'm just writing here H2. So welcome to what here? Django. Welcome to Django. Okay, right? So this is one page or not? Yes, this is one page. It will generate one page. It will generate one page. Who generating the page? View. What is the name of this view? Welcome. Welcome is generating which page? A page which contain a message called what? Welcome to Django. But how it is generating it? It is generating it by using which one? HTTP response. I created object of which type? HTTP response. Return HTTP response by using what? Message. So this is nothing but creating object of which class? Tell me, this is creating object of which class? HTTP response. Okay, you are sending which one? Message. Message is nothing but string. Message is nothing but what? String. So HTTP response contain which object? String object. That string contain what? H2 welcome to Django. And what is that? H2. So this response is given to whom? Browser. And browser will render and display the output or not? Yes. So HTTP response is a predefined class. HTTP response is a predefined class available in which module? HTTP module. And this is available in which package? Django package. Understood? Right? You understood what is response is? Response means output. But in web, always you generate the output using which protocol? HTTP. How your view can generate the output using HTTP protocol using which class? HTTP response. And in web, always input and output. I mean, output means presentation. How you present the data in web? HTML. How you present the data in web? HTML. Now you are generating HTML or not? Yes, this is HTML or not? Yes. You can write like this, or you can write output. Output equal to HTTP. Output equal to what? HTTP response by wrapping what here? Message. Then what you are generating now? Return. Return which one? Output. Okay. So this is which view? Welcome view. So we develop the view. Okay. Now what are the basic steps? First you have to create. First you have to create project. Second you have to create application. Third you have to create view. Fourth you have to do configuration. Next you have to install the application. Then you should run the server. You install the application by running the server. Then open the browser and send a request. Understood? Okay. So don't think that it is first. If you do some 2-3 times, you can easily understand. Otherwise it is difficult. Listen here, listen. Vinandi. Huh? Just listen here. Listen. Don't talk. Listen the class. Job hodda kavalna? You want job? Don't want job? Hodda? If you don't want job, Django is not required. Okay na? If you don't want job, Django is not required. You want job, then you must learn Django. You learn only Python, will you get a job? No, you don't get it. 100%. You don't get a job if you learn only Python. Some people learn only Python and they'll try. They don't get it. But you learn front end and back end and then you apply, you'll get some calls. At least some calls you'll get it. So specialization is required. Specialization is required. Specialization is required. Okay. Compulsory, you required a specialization. I'll explain here. I'll explain all this processing. Don't worry. Yes. You are trying to create which object here? HTTP response object. HTTP response object contain what? Message. HTTP response object contain what here? Message. Okay, na? So this message is in the form of, or this message is in the form of HTML. In web, always you present data in the form of what? HTML. So in Vue, you are writing which code? HTML code. But generally, you don't write HTML code in what? Vue. You write HTML code in what? Template. Yes or no? You create HTML file for generating HTML page. If you want to create a page, you should create HTML. But what you are doing here, your Vue itself is generating one page. Your Vue itself is generating one web page. Well, this page is static or dynamic? Dynamic. This page is not static. This page is what now? Dynamic.